Hello, I'm Ritz Blues, and this is my GDQ submission for Resident Evil 4 No Merchant. Let's get started.
Resident Evil 4.
So Resident Evil 4 No Merchant category is a unique category in which we are not allowed to go to the merchant for any reason whatsoever. So that means that we're not allowed to sell any treasures, we're not allowed to buy any upgrades, like better weapons or improved weapons. We are not allowed to purchase rocket launchers that the New Game Pro run normally uses to make bosses easier. So it's quite a bit more of a challenge to play on No Merchant in those respects. So it makes some of the strats for these different parts of the game very different and entertaining. But otherwise the run is largely the same at the very beginning as New Game Pro. We want to try to avoid combat as much as possible. We grab a grenade from the Raven back there, and we're going to be using the typical Village 1 strat to quickly dispatch villagers here in Pueblo. So right off the bat, we're going to kill one villager here to trigger more villager spawns a little further away in the right position so that when we throw this grenade, we can get a big chunk of kills. So we'll throw it through this window here, make our way upstairs and grab the shotgun, and then head back downstairs with this other grenade and position ourselves in such a way that we can destroy enough of these ganados to finish the fight and not have to waste any more time. So we got the strat there. Grab a few shotgun rounds and handgun bullets. That should be helpful later on for the cabin and water haul. The other aspect about this category is that it is normal difficulty instead of pro. And that has a few differences as well that need to be considered. One is that on normal difficulty we have difficulty adjustment, or DA, to consider as ways to manipulate the difficulty of the game. And DA can be adjusted in a number of ways. As you kill enemies or avoid attacks, or basically progress through the game, DA will naturally increase with your level of skill. However, every time Leon takes damage, every time you miss a shot with a weapon, or every time that that you get a game over, either from Ashley dying or Leon dying, the DA drops significantly. And that has really good benefits for some of the boss fights that we're going to be encountering in here. It's going to allow us to skip some of the equipment which you would normally pick up on a New Game Pro run. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up Chapter 1 here, missing a few shots there, and then make our way to 1-2. Alright, so Leon has been sent to go rescue the president's daughter. She's somewhere in Spain. And so we make our way to where our intel suggests that she might be located, try and find out where she is, and wind up getting captured, even though they don't take away any of our guns or ammo. And while we're knocked unconscious, they put a Las Plagas parasite in us. And so we have to not only find the president's daughter, but we also have to find some sort of way to cure us of this horrible... Oh, crap. Alright. There we go. So sometimes that guy grabs you. It's really weird where he is in normal difficulty. Depending on how fast he moves, he may be in the house, he may be across the bridge, he may be right there ready to grab you. So anyway, we have to get the Plagas out of us and rescue the president's daughter. So a lot of the speed tech that's going to be used throughout the run is a quick turn like you see right here. And quick turns allow Leon to turn a roughly 70 to 90 degree angle turns very fast as opposed to the tank controls that you normally get. So we're going to try and manipulate a Ganado here through this door and make sure that he points at us, which he did, so we can run right past him for free and make our way through the rest of this level here. Do another quick turn here and hop over. Good. Alright, so we'll finish up 1-2 now. I'm going to grab a little bit of health here just for safety. Even though this is a no merchant run and it seems like the difficulty should be a lot harder, it's actually not that much more difficult than the normal pro strats. It's just quite a bit different in some of the things you do, and some of the actions are a bit more complex. Fortunately, RE4 has a checkpoint system that's extremely forgiving, so any mistakes that get made, it's pretty easy to just reset checkpoint and give it another try if something didn't quite go right. So that's 1-2. Haven't taken any hits yet. We got grabbed once from behind, but it didn't do any damage, so running a little high on DA right now, which means Del Lago is probably going to be a little harder to kill than normal, unless we take damage on the way. So we're going to try and make our way through Pueblo one more time here, trying not to take hits and not fighting anybody since none of them are required to get past. Grab a little extra health there just as a extra safety. It's nice when you see that. So now we're about to encounter the merchant for the first time, and apart from skipping some treasures in the first parts of the game, this is where one of the first major deviations in the no merchant category occurs. So we get forced into a menu here. That's not very nice. Don't do that again, merchant. In a normal run, you would buy a rocket launcher here, but rocket launchers are boring, so we're not going to use them. So we grab that hand grenade there. That's going to be useful. And in all honesty, a lot of the difficulty in this run gets alleviated by the liberal use of each type of hand grenade. Fragmentation grenades, flash grenades, incendiary grenades. But even so, we can still skip quite a few of them. There were 2 incendiary grenades in this stage that we aren't taking. One at the very beginning in the house, and one right there at the tree back by the church. And the reason we don't need them, even though you may take those on a New Game Pro run, is that we're going to be relying on difficulty adjustment to reduce the difficulty of the fight against Mendez at the end of Chapter 2. So we're going to go ahead and shoot this crow here to grab a flash grenade, and then continue on through 1-3 to the boulder section and then Del Lago. So another wonderful use of this boulder graphic and Leon running. I guess the devs really liked that and they had to have it twice. So we're going to wander through this swampy area here, grab an extra grenade right here, and then shoot a couple of trip mines, and then switch to a grenade. Okay, he pointed at us, so we can switch. If he doesn't point, we have to go around him. So we're coming up on the first major boss of the run, Del Lago, and Del Lago is kind of the gatekeeper for Resident Evil 4 speedruns. It doesn't matter what category you're doing. All main categories, you have to pass Del Lago, and there's just absolutely no way to skip him. And unfortunately, Del Lago has the ability to dive deep underwater at different parts of his cycle, which is completely random whether or not he does. And if he does, we lose about 30 seconds just for RNG reasons. I'm also playing on controller at this point because it aims quite a bit better than the mouse. So we'll move over here and... Whoa! Okay, I don't know why I missed there. We'll go ahead and try and finish this as normal. We get a stagger, that's not good. So we're almost guaranteed that Del Lago is going to dive at this point. But we'll try and minimize the damage as best we can. So. Doing good so far. Okay, missed another shot there. But we didn't capsize, so that's good. Looks like we're probably going to be one short. That sucks. Okay, so this is one of the two places he can come up after diving, so we got lucky. Alright, there we go. So, pretty rough Del Lago, but otherwise a pretty reasonable Chapter 1. Alright, so Chapter 2, it's nightfall, and we definitely feel like something's wrong with us with Las Plagas taking root inside. And so Chapter 2 introduces a new enemy with the Parasite Heads, or the Plagas Head villagers. So we're going to try to avoid them as much as possible. Shotguns are pretty decent at removing Plagas Heads, and flash grenades will instantly kill them as well, so we'll use that when we need it. We're going to shoot the boxes from up here, so we can also shoot the barrel and grab this grenade, which we're going to use in the upcoming fight. So, Chapter 2, we have El Gigante, and normally in a new game run, we would purchase a rocket launcher back in 1-3 and use it after the waterfall segment on El Gigante. But again, we're not buying anything from the merchant, so we have to find a different way to beat him. In the old days of running RE4 on 30 FPS, you could actually clip out of bounds here by jumping off at the right spot and skip the waterfall, but we're not doing that. We're running on 60 FPS, so we lose out on that glitch, but some of the benefits of 60 FPS are just well worth it. So we're going to bait these guys out here and make our way to the insignia that we need in order to go back to the church and get inside of it. So instead of using a rocket launcher for El Gigante, we're going to be using a hand grenade, a flashbang, and 5 very precise shotgun shots. The first 3 are pretty easy, but very tight window to execute. The 4th shot is very tricky, and so is the 5th, so hopefully we get it. Grenade, flash, and switch to shotty. Okay, we got 3 hits. There's 4. Alright, cool. First try. We're going to grab a little bit of extra ammo here, so that when we get to the cabin, we have enough shotgun shells to make it all the way through. World record runs of this game, currently held by Sokin on normal difficulty, go upstairs at the 1-1 village fight, and instead of going back downstairs with the grenade, they go across to the ladder in the window and pick up shotgun shells there. But throwing the grenade out the window to finish 1-1 is extremely difficult. So dogs are free, we just pretty much walk right by, and that'll be the case for the whole game. So we're finally in the church. We gotta do a little bit of parkour across here and enter the super secret password to unlock the gate that leads to where Ashley is being held. 23 is number 1. Okay. So now we've got Ashley.
Wait.
And we're going to start making our way back out of here. So Ashley introduces the Escort Quest to the game. So she'll be following us on the left side throughout the run.
Leon, shoot those barrels on that wagon.
For whatever reason, whenever she talks right there, it makes our health bars disappear. I don't know why. Ashley Graham is voiced by the same actress who plays Sandy the Squirrel from SpongeBob SquarePants, and now you can't unhear that. So, gameplay when having Ashley, casually a lot of people didn't like having Ashley around, but she's actually not too terribly bad to have in a speedrun. There's a few places where she can be annoying, but for the most part, she's, you just have to make sure that when you dodge enemies, you dodge to the left instead of the right. I'm going to walk through this door so Ashley can catch up. If you're too far away from Ashley when you go through a door to another room, the game will pop up with a message that says you can't leave Ashley behind. One of the mechanics that we can use also is we can have Ashley hide in boxes or have her wait and follow, which we're going to do right here.
Wait, follow me.
And the wait follow will manipulate these Ganados to charge at her and miss, and we can get her through here safely without having to kill any of them. So we'll drop down here, grab Ashley just in time, make our way past this last Ganado to get the piggyback.
Wait.
Alright. No merchant. This is a no merchant run. I love that sound. Okay, so here's the cabin fight. It's very RNG, very intense. But for the most part, if we do kind of the same steps, we'll successfully get through. It's just a matter of how fast it is. It's just RNG. So we get a flashbang here. We'll have to think about the best use of that. It's pretty rare to not get handgun bullets there. So we're going to keep Lewis occupied there until we can get in the corner and throw the grenade. We want to try and kill as many Ganados with these grenades as possible. The objective of the cabin is to kill 40 Ganados. Thankfully, Lewis came prepared with an incredibly good handgun with the Red 9. But we're going to use our grenades to good effect here. Try and keep Lewis from shooting them down until we're sure that we can get a bunch of them with a grenade. We're going to make our way back upstairs one last time to grab the last couple of items here. Head to the stairs. Whoa! Shoot this guy and reload. So now we're going to hang out on these stairs and just sort of wait for Ganados to kind of make their way up here. And try not to shoot one if we can. There we go, there's a good crowd. And hopefully Lewis can do a good job of taking out a bunch of these guys before they come upstairs. Also got to be very careful with the Plagas heads. That way they don't get too close. There we go. There we go. Oh, another one. Good. Alright. So, have to take very careful timing with how to reload and when to reload. So we're getting close to the end here. We're going to just grab some more ammo. Oh, whoops, mouse glitch. Alright, so we've got a bunch of ammo there, and that's the end of Chapter 2-2. So, pretty good cabin. So we'll go ahead and clean up our inventory a little bit after that. We have a lot of healing items right now. Like, too many. Okay.
Wait.
So 2-3 is the final village chapter, and we need to make our way to confront the village chief, Mendez.
Leon!
But first we gotta get past this El Gigante, so we're gonna get through this gate, use Ashley as bait, and grab another incendiary grenade here, which we're gonna need. If we can get it here. There it is.
Follow me.
Have Ashley follow us. grab this key, there we go, and make our way to the other side. This is a lot faster than the alternate route where we have to kill a couple of chainsaw sisters in order to get through, so the Bella sisters. Better to just take this route. So we're coming up in the gondolas. The gondolas are a great opportunity for us to start using difficulty adjustment. So we're going to start taking some damage here in order to reduce our DA a little bit and try and make it so that we can kill Mendez with only a couple of incendiary grenades. So we're going to put Ashley kind of in this corner right here.
Wait.
And then we're going to get in position with the handgun and try to let her take exactly one hit. She cannot get hit twice. Now, it's okay if Leon gets hit too, but we just need to be careful about it. We'll go ahead and full heal just for safety. Alright, so we got another hit here. That's okay. Alright, that one missed Ashley. It was close. Okay, so we got a guy up on top. This is an auto-scroller, so it doesn't really matter as long as we just heal fairly quickly through here. Hopefully this one will hit Ashley. Alright, perfect. Now we want her to stay at yellow health for the rest of the time, so we're going to keep our gun out so she stays ducked for the rest of it. That's not good. Alright. Alright, that's all of them. Let's go ahead and reload here. Grab our incendiary grenade. Alright, pretty good gondola. The risk here is if Ashley gets hit a second time, she dies, and we waste a bit of time each time that happens. We do actually want to kill Ashley, though, because that's a great way to lower our difficulty. But we're going to do that in the next room, now that she's at about 40% health. Having Ashley wounded doesn't actually cost us any time. She does not run slower or anything like that. She somehow manages to keep up with Leon at full speed. It just means that if she takes another hit, she's very likely to die. So we're going to do some difficulty adjustment here.
Oh, no.
So for those of you who don't like Ashley, enjoy the upcoming montage of repeated grenade torching here. So we're going to do this a few times until we're pretty sure that our difficulty is low enough that it'll be easy to kill Mendez and also easy to progress in the castle. That should probably be enough.
Wait.
Alright, so we're going to leave Ashley behind here and go deal with Chief Mendez. Mendez is extremely vulnerable to fire grenades. In the New Game Pro strat, you bring 4 of them with you, and you take 1 more in here plus a fire barrel to kill him. But we only need 2 plus the fire barrel. So throw 1 there, skip the cutscene, grab these shotgun shells, turn around, get ready to throw the fire grenade again. And we missed the fire barrel, but that's okay. We can shoot that, and we're good. Okay. So we'll go ahead and swap to a grenade and grab his eye. And now we can make our way back.
Follow me.
So having a grenade in my hand or an empty slot or a rocket launcher has a different running animation for Leon than holding a pistol or any other weapon. And it's actually about 4% faster move speed this way. So that's why a lot of the times after I'm done using whatever firearm I'm using, I'll switch back to some kind of a grenade. The only disadvantage of being empty-handed is you cannot quick turn, but if you have a regular grenade in your hand, you can quick turn. So that's why I switched to the flash grenades. So we grab the gondola, head our way back up top side. But now with our glass eye that we've gotten from Mendez, we're going to get through a retinal scanner, because apparently his glass eye has a retina in it? Question mark. Anyway, we're going to also switch to the pistol for the upcoming truck encounter that we have to deal with here. We'll open the door, go.
Wait.
Leave Ashley behind, trigger the cutscene, turn around, and grab some ammo. Make our way over so we can shoot the trucker in the head. There we go. Reload, make sure both guns are reloaded. Shotgun is, so we'll just switch to a grenade and be on our merry way. See ya, Ashley.
Wait.
So anytime we have a cutscene that triggers just by crossing a threshold, we don't actually need Ashley with us. She'll just teleport to us, and that'll be useful later as well. So here's the first serious deviation from the New Game Pro strats, which is a big shopping trip at the merchant there at the start of 3.1. Normally we would sell the pistol and the shotgun in favor of getting the TMP and semi-automatic rifle. And then we would use the semi-automatic rifle here to kill one of the catapults. But
Wait.
it's really not necessary, and it's kind of overkill. So we're going to do a little bit of manipulating with our positioning here, turn around. We're going to leave Ashley right over here. Pause for a second. Pull out our handgun, and we can shoot this cultist just as effective as a sniper rifle, but not as messy. And the rest of the strat's pretty much the same. We turn the crank while letting Ashley get carried away before we fire this really old cannon that's conveniently pointed right at the game. And this causes all the cultists in the area to despawn, including the one that was holding Ashley.
Follow me.
So now we can make our way into the castle proper. Or at least within the walls of the castle.
Wait.
We're going to do a little bit more difficulty adjustment here, just because we have a couple of difficult rooms coming up with the Garrador and the Water Hall. So we're going to kill Ashley one more time just to ensure that our difficulty adjustment is low. Grab the sword, and we're going to leave before more cultists show up, and then tackle that room a second time. Grab some shells, swap the swords, and make our way out. Okay. Say hello to Louis. Say goodbye to Louis.
Wait.
So we're going to do a little demonstrating of one of Ashley's useful properties here while we get the key to get inside the castle. And that is that she makes for an excellent doorstop. So we'll grab this gate key, turn around, sneak past these guys, hope they don't grab us. We got lucky. And there she is, holding the door for us. Thank you, Ashley. Very polite. Open the door.
Wait.
And we're going to head up to the Chimera Wall here, which will pop up here. That's kind of the holy grail of skips. If we can find some sort of way to get past that Chimera Wall without having to do this next probably 15 minutes of content, it would save at least 15 minutes. Alright, so there's the key that we need to get into the dungeon. We're going to leave Ashley over there for a manipulation later after we kill the Garrador and cross on our way out. We're going to... Oops. Come on. Oh, great. Get a little closer here. Open the door here. Grab this incendiary grenade, which we'll need later. And we'll go take on the Garrador. Normally you take him on with a semi-automatic rifle. We have a similar kind of complicated dance, but this time with a shotgun. So with a few carefully timed shots here. Oh, that's not good. Thankfully, we can still reposition and still get him as long as we hit him a few times there. That's good. That's a big part of the reason why we lower the difficulty for this particular part, because if it's too high, it takes actually one more shot than what we used. So, not bad. We didn't get hit, and we didn't waste any shotgun shots.
Follow me. Wait.
So, by using the follow me and wait, we get the cultists to turn around there, and we can make our way past them without getting grabbed. So So we're going to heal up Ashley here, and now we're going to tackle the infamous water hall. Try and throw a grenade where we want it. Catching the 2 shielders is ideal. It will be, or I should say, acceptable. Ideally, we get the red zealot as well, but if we don't, that's okay. So the first part of Water Hall is actually not too terribly difficult because we have a shotgun, and that makes taking out the crowds pretty easy as long as we don't aim for the head. We're going to hit this guy and kick him. Grab the grenade here, very important. Ashley got grabbed, but thankfully he actually is going to bring her in the direction we want her to go. Try and drop the red zealot here, and make our way up the stairs. So here's a good opportunity to use a shotgun to knock 2 of them down. Go ahead and reload. Probably should have had Ashley on the lever here, but that's okay. Ashley, please. Thank you. So we'll drop them one more time. Alright. And trip these guys up. So as long as we're aiming at the legs, the shotgun, generally speaking, just trips cultists and doesn't actually kill them very often. It takes quite a few shots in the body and legs to kill a cultist. And so we don't trigger the extra cutscene because we're shooting them in the legs. Get a free reload here.
Look, there's a crank over there.
And then we're going to reload checkpoint to make the bad men go away. So part 2 of Water Hall in No Merchant is actually quite a bit different from New Game Pro because we don't have the sniper rifle here. And that means that we have a very tight window to go and pick off a bunch of cultists with nothing but a handgun. So we're going to try and take out this guy closest to Ashley. Ugh, terrible. We're going to trip up these 2 right here, so we can have some time to shoot the other ones on the far side here. There is a strat that uses a incendiary grenade to kill those 2, but I don't use it. All right, so we drop both of those guys. We're gonna trigger the cutscene here. Anytime now. Okay, I'm gonna drop this guy as well. If we can get him killed, that's ideal. Alright, 2 shots left. We gotta drop him. Got him in 1. So now all we have to do is shoot this vase here and drop the cultist on the bridge who is running pretty quick. That one. Alright, cool. We got him. Grab the first aid spray. And the rest we can do with just a grenade. Narrowly missed. So we're going to head down here while Ashley is cranking free of cultists. Grab the incendiary grenade. And we're going to take some damage here intentionally to try and lower our difficulty just a tad before Ashley gets back. That's pretty good. Alright, just in time for the cutscene. So we're going to go grab Ashley. And that is Water Hall. We do get just a little bit of time to wait for Ashley to jump across those platforms. So we're going to reload the shotgun here. And open the door, switch to a grenade, and tell her to wait here. So we have 1 extra flashbang from the cabin earlier. We're going to grab a grenade here, which we'll need for the end of Chapter 3. But this extra flashbang will make it so that we can do this next section in 3-2 a lot easier. So we're going to skip a barrel that I would normally break open to get the flashbang, and instead just take the extra one from Lewis. And this is the first encounter with the Novistadors. Getting past them is a little tricky. We can oftentimes turn the camera to manipulate our position, the way that the Novis attack. But sometimes what they do is completely random. So the first few sections are not too terribly difficult as long as we follow the same route. But the return trip is where things get a little bit dicey, and that's where the flash grenade will come in. So we drain the water and start making our way back. We'll throw a flash here. And that knocks out the one out here. And this one is the biggest random creature there. Whoa! I have never seen him there before. Okay. So that's Novi's one. We didn't take any damage. Did have to go a little out of the way to dodge one of them, but I mean, we didn't get comboed or anything like that. We're gonna pause for just a second for these pendulums so that we don't get chopped. And we say goodbye to Sen's Fortress. I mean Novistadors. So now we're coming up on the gallery, and this is where we have the red zealots. In particular, there's one really nasty red zealot in the next room here that's going to be one that hopefully we're going to be able to take out pretty easily. I'm a little low on heals, so I'm going to grab the red herb. And we're going to bust in here. We're going to try and kill that red zealot before he makes his way back down to the central area, because if he does make it to that area, he'll have access to a machine gun turret that's extremely dangerous, and we just don't want to deal with that. So take a peek as we cross over. It looks like the enemies are in a good position to shoot this barrel, which we will. There we go. And now if we do this right, I can throw this fire grenade in just the right corner and be able to jump here. Nope. Alright. We missed it, so the backup strat, we got to shoot him in the leg. And there we go, we dropped him. So we're going to still be able to catch him before he runs away, but this is just a bit slower than the preferred strat. Ideally, the fire grenade will stun him, and then we'll have him grab us like this, kick his head off, take the key, and then leave. Since we're at yellow health, we'll go ahead and heal back up and make our way out of the gallery. Drop down here. So second half of the gallery, we have this puzzle, and then we're going to try and collect the first of the 3 pieces of the Chimera Wall. So lovely puzzles Resident Evil games have. This one includes some really good ones like entering 1, 2, 3, 4, or just basically doing 3, 2, 1 as the password. I mean, just really, really complicated password systems in this game. So this second portion here, we're going to run kind of to the corner here and take advantage of our stun animation to reload. There we go. Sneak past these guys. Alright, looks like we got some extra sights coming in, so I'm going to switch to my shotgun to deal with them. If they get in the way. Looks like only one was close enough, but we make it through okay. Alright, so to wrap up 3-2, we're going to go head off to the garden maze, or the hedge maze. Pretty uneventful for a few moments here. During a marathon run, this would be a good opportunity for donations, as this part is pretty tame. Even the dogs are tame because we don't, you know, they're free. We're just going to pop in the maze, never stop running, take the shortest route to each of the 2 Mooncrest pieces, and then make our way back out. As long as we don't stop running, the dogs are completely free. So after this chapter is chapter 3-3. It's the shortest chapter in the game, but there's definitely some some tricky bits to it that we have to be very careful of. So depending on how fast the dogs chase us here, I may be able to grab an incendiary grenade through the door before finishing this chapter. So, alright, sounds like it was a long period of time before they busted down the door, so we'll go ahead and try it. So we'll open the crest, step forward and knife it, and take the incendiary grenade and head through the door. Alright, 3-3, the cage match. We're good on health, so we're not going to grab this herb here. We are going to grab these handgun rounds just in case. Shoot the bell, shoot the painting, no need to snipe it. We're going to open the glass in this case here, reload, and then we're going to go in the cage and trip a cultist. Perfect. Now we can open the door. And leave. Because fighting a Garrador in close quarters is not fun. So once again, our pistol's best job is dropping cultists. So as long as we can shoot them in the legs, we should be good. Pretty much the same strats you would use here for any other runs. We're going to shoot down the lamp there so we can get a free reload and get past the shielders. And that pretty much takes care of 3-3. Rest in peace, Lewis. Here's another fun part, trying to shoot off the chains with nothing but a handgun. Very tricky. There we go. So we're going to switch to a grenade here. And blow up the cultists right there. We got a bunch of extra handgun rounds, so we're going to open that vase and then just waste a few shots. Switch to our incendiary grenade, get in position for the second part of the fight.
The door's locked. I can't open it.
So I grabbed the extra incendiary for that hit right there, just so that we're sure that that cultist dies when I throw this grenade. Except I missed. Hooray! Well, yeah, it's bound to happen at some point. So, carefully, don't hit Ashley. There we go. Let's try this again. So this is just a good example of where something can go wrong in a run, but the worst that can happen is we lose a minute or so just trying again. But we're free to try as many times as we need to, so even though a lot of this stuff looks really tricky, really tight with some of the angles of the shots, it's actually not too terribly difficult when we can actually reset after making mistakes. The only risk is if we leave a room and forget to grab something that was important. And even then there's backups, but... Alright, so we're going to go ahead and shred our inventory now because we're about to grab a few additional pieces of equipment that the merchant does not give to us. It looks like we're low on healing too, so we're going to go ahead and take one of the healing items that Ashley's going to grab in her segment here. So, the 3-4 Ashley segment. In the Japanese version of this game, it actually has a fixed camera view, kind of like the classic Resident Evil tank control games. Unfortunately, we're not running that version. So, turn the cranks to open up the gate here. Pretty standard stuff. The GameCube version of this, you can actually injure cultists enough to be able to suplex them using a door if you do it right. Unfortunately, we are not doing that. Alright, so we're going to take that healing item. That's going to be the one we give to Leon. But we're going to have one more. Oops. Normally, we would use both healing items that we get here as a use for damage boosting and DA adjustment from the Armaduro's traps at the last portion of this segment. There is a chance that when we damage boost, that the random amount of damage that is being dealt is enough to kill Ashley instantly. We lose a little time if that happens, but it doesn't happen very often. So we'll go ahead and grab the medallion and the second Chimera Wall piece. We're going to go ahead and take our first damage boost up ahead here at the first QTE and see what happens. Okay, we lived. We're not going to damage boost the rest. We're going to actually do these QTEs now. That way we can save one to give to Leon in a little bit here. Here's the third one. So, in the Steam version at 60 FPS, you can actually just mash either of the QTE prompts. It doesn't matter which one, and it'll always go through. So it actually makes QTEs kind of more of a nuisance and a formality, and not so much a challenge. Alright, well, we're coming up on the end of the adventures of Sandy the Squirrel as she reunites with Leon. So, that's the end of Chapter 3. So now we're starting Chapter 4. We're going to take this heal from Ashley here. Here we go. And normally we would head straight out the door and move on, but because we're doing no merchant, we got to do a little extra side work here. 4-1 is already the longest chapter in the game, and we're going to be taking even more time in no merchant because we've got a few things to grab. We got to grab this rocket launcher. It's the only one we get for free aside from the one at the end of the game. And we're also going to go back and get the broken butterfly Magnum. And that Magnum is going to be the key to finishing no merchant without having to, purchase any upgrades or stronger weapons.
Follow me.
I'm surprised that Ashley isn't affected by flashbangs. It's really weird. Like, she's immune to them entirely. He doesn't warn her to cover her eyes or anything. But a bunch of cultists wearing like masks where you can't even see their eyes, they're stunned by it, but not Ashley. Alright, so here we have the broken butterfly room. Some people never went back to this casually and completely missed out on a free Magnum.
Follow me.
Arguably the better of the two Magnums. But in a speedrun it is a bit slower to get this than it is to just purchase a Killer 7 later. So, but we're not going to spend any money, so... Well, I should say, we're not supposed to spend any money. I'm actually going to offer an incentive for this run, where if the incentive is met, I will invalidate the run at the very end of the game. I will discard my handgun and purchase a striker so that we can do the jet ski glitch. So, at the cost of invalidating my run, I am willing to show off the jet ski glitch. And I will easily be able to purchase it as long as I grab 2 piles of gold from 2 very guaranteed to drop boss fights. Alright, so now we actually get to start 4-1 proper, and our inventory is packed to the gills. We cannot possibly pick up anything else. We have exactly 10 handgun rounds on us. We don't have any room to carry handgun ammo right now. We have a full stack of shotgun rounds. We have no room for that. So every piece of equipment is exactly needed at this point. So we're going to go in the lava room. Lord only knows why Salazar has a lava room, but here we are. So the normal strats for this room, ouch, is to use a sniper rifle up ahead here to shoot the chain, but we don't have that, so instead we're just going to take the manly approach and just run right up and shoot the guy in the chest. Right there. Or the arm, I guess, works. Just as effective. Head on up, grab the third and final Chimera Wall piece. Turn around. Here we go. Now, because we got hit, we're going to miss the cycle for the return trip, but hopefully we won't miss another one after that. So, just kind of dance around here for a little bit while we wait. Alright. If he doesn't hit us, we can actually make that first cycle back. Alright, so all that content that you just saw would be completely skipped if we could just find some sort of way to skip the Chimera Wall. So everything from the very beginning of the castle segment, right before the Garradors and the water hall, pretty much all of Chapter 3 would be skipped if we could just get past this wall. So now we'll go ahead and return the pieces. And make our way to yet another tram. So the next segment is the Grail portion of the castle, and we have to get the King and Queen's Grails. If we had room in our inventory, we could do either one, but because we don't have space, I like to do the King's Grail first, so that I can use up a lot of my ammo and grenades before we go do the Queen's Grail.
Wait.
So we'll go ahead and do these QTEs here. In a world record attempt, you would actually damage boost these to lower your DA and just grab the herb that you get from the fight after, but I don't have an herb, so I have to be very careful for this Armaduras fight. Alright, no sniper rifle here, so we only get to use a shotgun. We have to be very careful. Looks like the first shot I did on that guy didn't actually trigger his helmet, which is unfortunate. So, we want to try and shoot these guys in the head. Hopefully we can get them to burst open. It doesn't always happen. Go ahead and reload here. Try and get him one more shot. Alright, cool, we got them both. Okay, flashbang to kill them instantly, reload. Snag the heal, snag the handgun ammo. And we'll grab the shotgun ammo in just a moment. Back over here. Use the Magnum rounds, we can't miss here. We really need these to hit. Good. Alright, so that's the Armaduras fight. We'll reload. And we'll grab the leftover ammo here. Okay, we don't need to reload the shotgun. So just switch to your grenade and head on out. Now we've got room for handgun ammunition and some healing items. So we'll make our way back to the main room here. Grab the yellow herb and head on over to the Queen's Grail room. So we'll start with some puzzles here.
Wait.
Leave Ashley on that one. Stand on this one, grab the handgun. We need to make room there for a flashbang as well. And skip the cutscene and move on. again, another long-range shot that we're going to do here that doesn't really require the rifle at all. So... Alright, so we're going to reload because we're going to need extra ammo there for the upcoming Novistador section. We'll grab one more flashbang out here before wrapping up this segment with Ashley.
Follow me. Wait, follow me. Wait,
so we're going to try and manipulate these cultists over so that we can go around them and sneak past. Oh no, well, hopefully we can get past anyway. That's not good. Let's see if we can get them out of there. No, this isn't gonna work. Alright, well, we'll just save, cut our losses there and just try again with a reload checkpoint.
Follow me.
Alright, we're gonna wait just a little longer before we do it. There we go. That's much better, that's what we want to see. So Queen's Grail, have her wait there. King's Grail. Turn around. Open the door. Everybody do the dinosaur. Alright. So we're going to do a little bit more damage, DA reduction, with a couple more knife kills here. We want to drop it really low for the upcoming encounter with the double Garrador fight. And also, it probably doesn't hurt to do Novi's 2 with as low of a DA as possible. So that should be enough. We say goodbye to Ashley again. And we deal with Novi's 2. Oh, come on, get out of my face. Throw the lever. Throw the grenade. I'm gonna shoot the chains. 1, 2. Other grenade. Oh! Alright. And throw. Okay. Nope. Okay. So we turn the camera so he doesn't attack, and looks like we made it out okay. Which is good, because I don't have any backup healing items right now, I don't believe. So, taking a hit there would be pretty bad. Alright. So, moving on. I'm going to head up to the clock tower so we can turn the bridge. This is, again, a pretty straightforward part of the run. Relatively uneventful. Almost made it to the door. So we're going to shoot the planks. This would be another good opportunity for donations during a marathon run. It's pretty uneventful climbing the tower and making our way back down again. So, alright. Gonna, oops, accidentally grab the Novistador log instead of that. Come on, pick it up. Alright, so we're back at full health, and we somehow miss, and somehow, there we go. Okay. So making our way back down the tower, after the bridge has been moved back into place. Try not to get shot here. That was close. Alright. Drop down there. Reload. And make our way around the explosion so we don't flinch. We're going to grab a grenade in the box over here by getting this guy out of the way. We're going to need that for just in just a moment here. So we'll go ahead and run past all these guys. On normal with very low DA, it's extremely easy to run past all this stuff. You don't even have to really juke them. So here, you would normally shoot the Garradors with a rocket launcher, but that's expensive. So we're going to use a grenade instead. Line them up just right. put 2 in their backs. And 1, 2. Easy every time. Alright, so now for the final portion of 4-1, we're going to be facing off against Salazar's right hand, Verdugo. And that's why we need the rocket launcher. Alright, no satisfying sound of one's impalement. Oops. Let's see, we don't really need these extra shotgun rounds, so we'll go ahead and remove those. And there we go. Every incendiary grenade from here on out is precious. We're going to use pretty much every single one of them. So, Verdugo. We're at full health and we have a full heal, so we're going to try and damage boost through the QTEs to also lower our difficulty. And it is possible to beat Verdugo without the rocket launcher, but it takes like 3 minutes or so. And it's, you know, if it requires a glitch to get him stuck if you want to do it safely and consistently. Otherwise you have to dodge a whole bunch. So we reset the checkpoint in this room to keep our difficulty adjustment set low. So that's why we reset the checkpoint, and we'll be doing that in pretty much every boss fight from here on. So we're going to get hit by the first QTE. Any others we either try and run through or try and run past. Sometimes you can dodge them just by continuing to run after getting hit the first time. I wasn't lucky this time. So we get a full heal here. Go trigger the door. Turn around. Run right on by. Knock down that. And take the shot. Grab these shotgun shells and then take advantage of the cutscene to reload that. Switch to your grenade and wrap up 4-1. So we're going to go ahead and pick up a couple more items before wrapping up, but otherwise that is the end of the longest chapter in the game. But 4-2 is really like kind of a doozy for no merchant, because there's a lot of stuff that we have to do different that you can't do in a normal run. The first obstacle we're going to have is the boulder in the mines. You'd normally buy a rocket launcher here to just shoot the boulder, but again, rocket launchers are OP, so we're going to use skill instead to get past this boulder. But we're not going to do it the intended way either. So we're going to use the old GameCube boulder float glitch here. RPD in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, I'm gonna float, RPD guy. Line it up. There we go. We got it. I can go anywhere. So that's how we skip the boulder without having to use a rocket launcher. It's pretty tricky to figure out. I spent a lot of time practicing that trick. I can usually nail it the first 1 to 2 tries. Every once in a while I have to try it like 3 times. So we're gonna reposition here. Oh shoot, we didn't quick turn. Alright, so we'll try this again. So for the double Gigantes, normally you'd skip them with the Dipman glitch, which is something else we cannot do in No Merchant. So instead we actually have to fight these guys, so we're going to use some very careful usage of Magnum rounds, handgun rounds, and a grenade. Get a quick reload here. Got it. Gonna shoot that Plagas. Switch to a shotgun, shoot the Plagas again, and QTE to finish. Good fight. It's actually possible to do the fight a little faster if you can get the grenade off before the Gigante throws the punch, but still, not bad. Alright, so we're going to grab those shotgun shells, the first aid, the flash grenade, some more shotgun shells, and an incendiary grenade before moving on to the third portion of Chapter 4-2, Novice 3. Arguably the most dangerous one in the game. And on top of all that, we don't have the striker for Ditman here, so we have to be very careful. So one of the precautions that I like to take is shooting these Novies with a shotgun. Alright, cool. We got them all. Took a couple extra shots, but we made it through pretty safe. So at least those 4 won't be hounding us for the rest of the chamber. And we're going to use some flashbangs to help us get through it. So we have to activate a couple of switches. We'll go ahead and heal up each time if we take a hit. Throw a flashbang to get out. Looks like we only got one of them. Ouch. Not the kind of facial that you want to get right there. I'm sure it opens your pores, but it also might open up your blood vessels too. Man, this just... if they want to grab you, they'll just grab you. We're going to try and shotgun these guys. Try and get as many of them down as we can. That was pretty good. That was really good. So we'll go ahead and grab the other flash grenade for safety again. Throw it again. Alright. Looks like we're in business. Cool. Turn the camera. Lucky. I hate when they body block. Alright. That was Novice 3. That was really good. If we run into this chamber with a grenade or empty-handed, you can actually beat the first piston if you're at full health. Throw the lever here because we can't Ditman past them. And that is the end of 4-2. Okay, so 4-3. So this is home of the infamous minecart segment. And normally it would be a really long auto-scroller and there's just no way to skip it. But unfortunately, I used to enjoy that even though it was an auto-scroller. I would, some of my old New Game Plus runs I would dance in the minecarts. It's kind of fun, but sadly we don't do that anymore, but happily the game is now faster because of it. So there was a glitch discovered where if you use the Ditman, you can climb in the minecart at just the right angle and drop down through it and get out of bounds. And then later, a couple of years ago, they discovered a similar glitch at a different point where you ride the minecart, jump over it, and manage to clip through the bottom. And that works on every version of the game, which is fantastic. So we don't have Ditman, so we can't do the first faster version, but we do have an alternate version that still is, quite a bit faster than riding the minecarts. We're going to shotgun this guy for safety so he doesn't take our head off. It is a little faster to go through here without shooting him, but at this pace I don't want to risk it, and it's just overall safer just to shoot him. I'd rather get hit by one of the Ganados than get my head taken off. So we'll reload here. We got another spike trap room. shoot these as fast as we can. Alright, and oh! Face hugger. Alright. So, not too bad. At least we didn't get dropped to caution, so we'll just move on and heal up in the next room. Grab the green herb that's right over here. So here we go. Minecart Skip. So we'll go ahead and hop over this rail here, shoot the lever and reload. Switch to a grenade because running with it is faster. Position the camera like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and jump. Oh, jump. Alright, we got it. Every once in a while, a Ganado will be there that gets hit and drops a pickup item, and if the timing is just right, you'll pick it up instead of jumping over, so you gotta mash for the second opportunity to jump out. Thankfully, the timing is not too terribly specific. I mean, it is a narrow window, but it's not like frame perfect or anything like that. But the camera positioning is very important. Leon's positioning in the corner is very important for that glitch. So thankfully I've found a few good landmarks, good pixels to line up on to make that trip more consistent. So that sound means we got to skip a cutscene right there. Because we start the minecart, that cutscene will trigger. If we use the Ditman version of the glitch, not only is this part about 50% faster because we're running faster, but it doesn't trigger that little cutscene that we have to skip. So this is probably the longest portion of just straight up running in the game, so this would be yet another really good instance for throwing it to donations. There's actually quite a few of those throughout the run. But this one's by far one of the longer ones. Although, it's a lot shorter now that we're not actually riding the minecart anymore. If you think about it, that lever only represents about the halfway mark. And that lever cutscene triggered when we were a portion of the way down the spiral portion at the very, very end of the ride. So we definitely saved quite a bit of time in all routes, all categories of the game by skipping the minecart. Alright, so make our way over to the elevator here. Open that and head on up. Alright, 4-4. So this is the giant Salazar statue room. It works very similar strats for New Game Pro, except we use a handgun. And we have a much tighter window that we have to meet at the very beginning here. So we're going to try and get on that the hand at the very beginning here. And we'll barely make it on. Aim down. Shoot that guy. Alright. Little sloppy, but we didn't miss our cycle. Now we just need to catch that other one. Awesome. Cool, and if we did it right, alright, that first shot attracted the red zealot, so there we go. That is Salazar statue room done quick. So now we have the lovely QTE segment here. Infamous for being really hard on pro difficulty. It's actually not particularly difficult on normal. Almost impossible to mash through otherwise, because the port was a little rough on the timing for this. But we made it. So we'll go ahead and reload all of our weapons here as we get ready for the final climb of the tower here. But first, we're going to take a knife to the neck a couple times just to make sure that our difficulty adjustment is lowered as low as we can get it. Because we absolutely need to make sure that this boss fight is as easy as we can make it with the weapons that we have access to. So we have a very tight amount of Magnum rounds. We actually have like 2 to spare, which shouldn't have to use them, but because we didn't have to use any extra rounds earlier in the run, we should be pretty safe. So again, this part of the run, the elevator ride, is pretty normal strats here. We use whatever shotgun we have access to try and keep the red zealots out of the middle of the elevator. We want to try and limit how many are there. So drop that guy, come over here and drop the other guy so that they don't snipe us while we're in position here. So we're going to go in the middle of the elevator here, aim down, and try and sweep them off the elevator. Pretty good. Turn around, get these guys. Good. Okay. Good, good, good. Reload. Ah, he had time to move, so he got out of position. Oh, rats. Now they're all spread out. Alright. Well, we're going to lose a little bit of time here, but first half was pretty good. Somehow I didn't get grabbed there. Alright, so we'll run up here and try and kill that Clogus. Good. Alright, there's only one guy left. Oh no, 2 guys. Alright, this guy's the only one left. So if we just knock him down, we can reload and everything else will be hunky-dory. Wound up using a little extra shotgun ammo, so not the fastest elevator possible, but pretty good. At least the first half was decent. So we have 5 incendiary grenades. That's good. That means we haven't missed any throughout the run. If we had less at this point, then it'll make a couple of the bosses in Chapter 5 a little bit tricky. But not the worst thing in the world. There's backups available if we're running short. Let's see. We don't have any room for the heal, so we're just going to grab the Magnum ammo here. Reload so that our DA doesn't spike up. And now we're going to do Salazar. So it's pretty much the same thing both phases. Oh no, I missed the first shot. So we'll have to reload first. So 3 shotgun blasts to the eye. 2 handgun bullets to the eye. We're going to reload first, then we're going to pull out our Magnum. So we're going to put 6 in them there. Oh, we missed one. Dodge that. Second phase, we're going to do the same thing. Shoot the eye 3 times. And then handgun 2 more in the eye. Switch to the Magnum. So we missed a shot, so we're probably going to have to do an extra shot because he regenerates. Yep. So this is why having a couple of extra shots is helpful. If I had missed 2 shots in this fight, I would reset it and lose a bit of time, but it would still be doable. Alright, so now we're just about done using the handgun, so we're going to reload it, dump all of our handgun ammo, and head on out and finish up Chapter 4 here. So as part of the invalidation jet ski glitch incentive, I'm going to grab that 50,000 pesetas right there. And I'll grab the rest of them in Chapter 5-3. I'm going to grab one more flashbang. Grab some extra shotgun shells here. And And that is the end of 4-2, or 4-4. So, Chapter 5, The Island. So we're going to do a little glitch right off the bat here, and try to get out of bounds so that we can skip most of the stage. There we go. Turn here. Cut across this little gap here. And then hit the QTE there. Teleport up here. Easy peasy. Alright. So we're gonna make our way up this little gauntlet here, and as long as we shoot this guy with the rocket launcher or the handgun, should be pretty straightforward and easy to get past. So this is the second part of the run where inventory space is extremely precious. We've been stocking up on a ton of grenades this whole time. Incendiary grenades, flashbangs, hand grenades. So we need to actually go through and clear out some of these extra healing items. So we'll probably get rid of... we'll reload here. Get rid of another stack. Oops. No. No. Shoot. Okay. Try that again. No! There. Okay. So we made 2 slots in our inventory for a couple more grenades that we need here. So we're going to grab one more fire nade here, and that's still not the last one that we'll grab. We're going to skip past oven guy here. Grab that hand grenade. Alright. Alright. Go here, quit out of that. So this next room with the garage door, we're going to switch to some frag grenades. Chuck those over before they open the door to kill them instantly. Trigger the next batch, we'll throw the grenade in there. Switch to a handgun because one of them inevitably always survives. So we have to always shoot him before the door shuts, that way we can get in as quickly as we can. So now we're in the research labs, and we're going to grab our 8th incendiary grenade, some Magnum rounds here, and then we're going to say hello to everybody's favorite monster in RE4, the Regenerators. But first we have to enter a password. 3, 2, 1, beep. Easy. Regenerators. Ugh, they're so horrible. Nightmare fuel. And quite honestly, they're one of my least favorite enemies in this run, only because of what they can do in 5-2. But in 5-1, they're pretty tame. They're really easy to bait out. The third one here sometimes can give a little bit of trouble, but usually it's pretty easy to bait them out and just sneak right past them. So go ahead and freeze the key to change the key, because that's how keys work. And go ahead and swap to our Magnum. Open the door, reload, so that we make yet a little bit more space for one more grenade that we're going to grab here. So kick down the door, grab that grenade, open that door, sneak past here, get shot, oops. And because we used 2 grenades in the Novistador 3, we're going to open this locker here, because we're going to need an extra flash for later. Just going to make our way past the door. Nope, open that. So we don't have the key to that door, so we're going to come back here after we go deeper into the science labs. Now, if I were an evil organization and I had a very special hostage and I wanted to keep locked up, who would I trust my key with? One of my trusted soldiers? Nah. Let's give it to a really freaky looking bio weapon that doesn't seem to have any kind of proper sentience or ability to communicate. So yet another difference here, not a particularly interesting difference. We don't have a rocket launcher, but we did manage to save up a whole bunch of fire grenades for making that Iron Maiden basically free. Typically you would just blast them with a rocket launcher and move on with your day. But not too difficult. Alright, so now for some flash grenade magic. And then stun these guys, grab another flashbang, kick down the door. We're going to be making good use of these flashbangs again in a minute. Nope, that's not the right way. Oh, rats. Forgot to make the turn here. Come on. Alright. Alright. So that's the end of 5-1. So we grab those shotgun shells. Trigger a wait follow to get their attention. Throw a flashbang, kick the shielder. Here we go. I'm going to quickly grab another flashbang here and trigger the door switch. Try and make our way out. It's okay if Ashley gets hit there. It actually helps so that it's a little faster to get out, because we're going to trigger an event here and get Ashley back for free.
What is that thing?
So now we got to get past the Iron Maidens.
Wait, follow me.
I'm going to wait follow so she pushes the box just a little faster. And sneak past these Iron Maidens. Wait follow again to attract the next one. We're going to throw a flash to get past him. Push this box out of the way. And make our way to the Wrecking Ballroom. So we have one last flashbang here to get past these guys. And then now that we're empty, there's a neat little glitch we can do using the controller. So we're going to line up, switch the controller here. Get Ashley with the knife to make her duck, but I'm holding the grenade aim button down at the same time to make sure that she doesn't move. And that allows me to freely enter this room without triggering the cutscene that spawns all the enemies. So once we trigger the first wrecking ball here, we can actually let Ashley enter the room and let the enemies spawn in.
Look, there's a gate here.
We'll skip that cutscene. But now that I'm standing here, none of the enemies have line of sight to me, so I can just freely pull this lever, and none of them are going to come after me. They're just going to stand there, just stupidly staring off into space. So we trip this lever one more time. No, 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 come on. Alright, cool. And that's it. We leave the room. Wrecking Ball, totally free.
Wait, follow me.
So now my least favorite room in this chapter, the Regenerator Room, only because what they do is completely random. They're not as aggressive as they are on professional difficulty. So knowing how to bait them without getting Ashley hit is very difficult. Alright, looks like we got good baits there. They didn't grab us either. That's really, really, really lucky. Because they did reach.
Follow me.
Make Ashley phase through the door there.
Wait.
And trigger these levers so that we can move on to the final segment of Chapter 5-2, the truck. So this is an auto-scroller that unfortunately we cannot skip. I'll go ahead and grab the shotgun shells and first aid spray in that room, even though we don't need them at this point, but for extra safety it's nice to have them. So, over the years we figured out that this auto-scroller is actually pretty broken. If you stand right on the edge of the truck here, most of the soldiers that try and make their way over to us, they don't actually jump up on the truck. They either try to swing at the base of the truck or they stop just shy of it if you aim at them. So we can ball them up pretty good here, shoot them down. Easy peasy. And as long as we stay standing here, the next batch isn't going to go anywhere either. And so the two that drop in the truck bed, we can just shoot them from behind. Right here. I mean literally from behind, or on their behinds. Okay, no Plagas, so we turn around. The rest of them glitch out, and for whatever reason just all hang out over there. So here's the first truck fight here. We kill that truck there. That's one very dead truck. 3 shotgun shells is all it took. So because those other guys are glitched out, we only get one guy here. Poor guy. Shine lasers in his eyes. There is a glitch that you can do to try and pick up an item in the truck bed that skips this cutscene right here. But I'm not going to risk it. I'd rather just take it and, move on. So now we've killed the zombie truck that was back from the dead. It's the only zombie in the game. And we're going to move on to the only part of this segment that isn't actually an auto-scroller. And we're going to make our way up to each of the levers up at the top there and throw one of them to resume power on the elevator. So hopefully we can get past these guards without them hitting me. Alright. Good. The lever, good. Second half. Excellent. So we'll drop down here and start the auto-scroller again. So we're coming up on the final segment of this room, this auto-scroller. And there tends to be quite a bit of issues with Plagas in this last part. It can be very dangerous. I don't have a lot of health. I haven't been picking up gold herbs throughout the game. I've got a couple, but not very many. And I don't want to get interrupted at the truck. So we're going to take out those 2 guys, shoot them once, reload twice. We've got another pair up here that we can shoot in between to knock down. Good. So now we're going to turn around and try and keep these soldiers away, because at least one of them will almost always have a Plagas inside. So we want to try and keep them from getting too close. Alright, we gotta get one that's on the truck bed off as well. So one of these guys will probably have a Plagas, we'll see. Hey, there we go, there's the winner. So we're going to keep these guys at bay for a little bit longer. One more shot. Okay. Switch to the Magnum because it's much more reliable for shooting this truck. 1 shot's all we need. Reload. And that's the end of the bulldozer sequence, or the truck sequence. Alright. And that also brings us to the end of 5-2. Grab a few more shells here, and wrap up. So 5-3. This is a pretty infamous chapter. It's got the most annoyingly long cutscene in the game. It has a ton of QTE-based deaths available in it, and it's fairly challenging casually. So another huge skip that the community is still trying to find is whether or not we can skip this Krauser cutscene or not, but since we can't, let's enjoy. Been a long time, comrade. Krauser died in that crash 2 years ago. Is that what they told you? You're the one who kidnapped Ashley. You catch on quick, as expected. After all, you and I both know where we come from. What do you want? The samples Sadler developed, that's all. Leave Ashley out of this. Oh, I needed her to buy Sadler's trust in me. Like you, I'm American. Barrel. You got her involved just for that? Huh. Yeah. Kick. All for Umbrella's sake. Umbrella. Almost let it slip. Let's talk. Hole in the chest. Ada. Well, if it isn't the bitch in the red dress. Looks like we have the upper hand here. Man, I wish I could jump like that. You may be able to prolong your life, but it's not like you can escape your inevitable death, is it? You knew each other? More or less. Maybe it's about time you tell me the reason why you're here. Maybe some other time. A touching reunion. At least we get to skip the Sadler conversation. Alright, so now we have these wonderful... Oh! Whoops. Just kidding. That's intentional. These wonderful laser rooms, which are really good for dropping our difficulty again. So we're going to shred it back down to super low levels with a bunch of intentional deaths here, so that the upcoming fights are a bit easier. Alright. Should be just about enough. So we'll go ahead and proceed as normal. Skipping through all the cutscenes, doing all the QTEs. Hitting another QTE here. Flip. Dexterity check passed. Welcome home, Sadler. Could you imagine that being your security system every time you want to go home? It's like, alright, welcome home, but you gotta jump through all these lasers first to get inside. Also, who puts a throne room in between, like, a giant mine and a, like, refinery or, like, foundry or some kind of, like, industrial segment like that? It's such a weird place to have it. Anyway, we reset the checkpoint here. We're coming up on IT, also known as U3. So anytime we start in a boss room, we're going to reset checkpoint for difficulty adjustment. I'm going to make our way up for the U3 maze. And only real difference here, we don't have the striker, but thankfully the knife works pretty well for a lot of these triggers. Try and avoid getting hit as much as we can here, baiting out attacks. Knife again. Ooh, right on top of us. So, fortunately, probably wasn't any way we could avoid that, because he had us cornered there. I'm gonna grab another incendiary grenade, head on up here, swap to the pistol, shoot the first target, run up, shoot the second target because the cutscene turns us around, which is very disorienting. Switch to the hand grenade, which we'll need in the next chamber. Dodge that. Let's go hit this last button here and make our way out. Shoot. Got bodied again. Okay. So we're going to throw this grenade in the corner to pop the door open. Didn't mean to flinch there, that's okay. And now we've got our incendiary grenades that we can use to fight you three in the next room. First we gotta get out of here. So we make our way over here, hop on up, grab the ammo, use the healing item. We're gonna start chucking fire grenades at him until he dies. Normally this is a fight you'd use a rocket launcher on. I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but a little more complicated here. Some very risky knifing. Not really, this is pretty free. Another fire grenade, and depending on what he does here... Okay, he dove, so if he attacks we can hit him with another quick fire grenade and the fight ends pretty much immediately. But instead we have an unknown number of QTEs. Thankfully only one, and that's the fight. So pretty straightforward boss fight. RNG wise it could have been a little faster. There's the last bit of money we need if we decide to invalidate the run at the end to do the jet ski glitch. So we're doing good on healing, so I'm not going to grab the extra herb there. Instead we're just going to make our way out to the surface. There's one more hand grenade that we can grab in here. And so basically all that's left of chapter 5-3 is to make our way to Krauser and defeat him in battle. So not much to talk about in this segment. We're going to be resetting the room one more time once we enter the next door up ahead here, and then we'll start the Krauser segment. So because we don't have access to the Ditman glitch, there's a couple of parts of this fight that we have to take a little bit of a deviation from the normal route in order to get through it safely. So regardless of what happens at the beginning, we're always going to grab the herb and the ammo in there. We're going to knife Krauser since that's his weakness. Try to hit him in the head there. Oop, looks like we missed. So one last hit. Unfortunately we can't kick the door down to skip the flash animation, but that's not too big of a time loss. Kicking down this door triggers another checkpoint, so we'll reload it, and that forces Krauser down here, which means that he won't be up at that overlook on that building shooting at us. That way we don't have to worry about what to do. We just skip him once and then just run on through the segment pretty easy enough. So we're going to try and knife him. We miss. Shoot the grenade. And knife him in the head and get a free reload on our Magnum here. Okay. Oops. There we go. Free reload. Switch to your grenade to run again. And we get to solve this lovely statue puzzle. Trying to push it exactly right is really precise. Pretty sure I pushed it too far, so we'll have to readjust it. It's pretty much a pixel perfect trick, and it's very difficult to get right, so not a big deal if we miss it though. Alright. One last little gauntlet here. I'm going to very quickly jump down before Krauser knifes us. And we're going to run through these drones. The only room that they appear in the entire game. Ignore this QTE. And then run in the door and skip the gate closing cutscene so we don't get shot. Okay. So that's it for the lead up to Krauser. So now we got to see how the fight goes. Hopefully, if I do this right, I should be able to get Krauser into the corner and knife him until he dies. Okay, so far so good. Oh, that's not good. That is good. Alright, that's a good Krauser fight. So sometimes Krauser can really meme you and flip like crazy or force QTEs that interrupt your knife slash. It's definitely one of the most practiced part of the run for any category just because of how annoying the fight can be. But that was a really good Krauser fight. Alright. So we're coming up on the final chapter here, 5-4. This is going to be the last segment of the run. So before the final boss fight, there's a lot of RNG here. Whenever Mike decides to shoot is random. Whether or not the enemies grab us is random. But so far we're doing pretty good. This is the last use of the handgun in the entire game for this run. Alright. So go ahead and kick down the door here. Open the door and set the checkpoint. Make our way up the stairs and shoot this shielder right here. Go face off against the JJ. Good. Grab an extra grenade. Go ahead and combine these herbs. Jump on down. Switch to our fire grenade. Throw the lever and reset checkpoint again. And then we'll drop down and do the final part of the first gauntlet here. Hopefully we don't get shot too much. So we'll climb this ladder and quick turn to get out of here. Try and run past the shielder without getting cornered. Unfortunately we got cornered, so we'll have to heal. Looks like we got the squeeze past there. Did get shot once, that's not too bad though. So there's our last fire grenade. Shoot him in the back. Good. Alright, it looks like Mike took out the other tower, so we don't need to shoot that guy. So now we can just run through the rest of this area with the shotgun and blast anybody who gets in our way. Like this guy. Okay, that guy jumped down, that's good. Alright. So, throw that lever, and that should be the last thing we need to do before leaving the room, other than grabbing a quick heal. If we did this fast enough, hopefully we don't get a game crash. It can crash through these doors right here. Seems to be tied to how quickly you do that room, but that room went pretty well, so no worries. So now we say goodbye to our friend Mike. Rest in peace, Mike. Make our way to the last portion of the run here. So another uneventful couple of rooms. So another good opportunity for donations. You pretty much skip out on all the Ada cutscenes, unfortunately. Gonna grab those flash grenades and a little bit of Magnum ammo. But that's all we need from this room. Say goodbye to the last regenerator. And make our way to the last gauntlet in the run. So in this room, we want to try and minimize combat as much as possible. We have to trigger this door to lock it, and then we have to go through the gauntlet to unlock it. So we want to shoot Red Bandana in the head. Whoops. There we go. Shoot the barrel, grab the key. So switch to... Actually, we'll do a flash grenade here. Still green, so we'll press on. Head upstairs. Now that we have the key card from the Red Bandana guard, we'll go ahead and activate the buttons for this needlessly complicated door. Drop down here, sneak by these guys and push the button. Nice. Good dodge. Get past this guy, throw a flash, hit the button, and leave the room by dropping down here. Back around and leave. So that was a pretty darn good 5-4. An otherwise very difficult stage. Still got a little bit more to do, but that was the hardest room in this chapter. So now we've got Ashley back, and pretty much just have to make our way to the final boss. So head on down here, use another wait follow to bait out these two guards, run past, and wait for the doors to close, skip the cutscene and move on. So this would be the point in which I would discard my handgun and purchase the striker if the incentive were met. Since we're doing this for a PB though, I'm not going to do that. We'll just go ahead and reload our guns. And leave Ashley here and head on to the Saddler fight. So again, another fight that is not trivialized by a rocket launcher. Instead, we have to take advantage of the weak points. So shoot him in the eye to open up his other eye. Drop a couple of Magnum rounds in it and then a knife shot. We're going to repeat this 2 or 3 times, depending on how effectively we can hit the eye. Miss. Oh. Okay. He didn't kill me, and he didn't pick me up, so that's good. And we still got the eye shot, so that's not too much of a time loss. So, next eye. And another stab here. One more time, switch to the shotgun, right here. Wait for the eye. Good shot. And then shoot him again. One. Oh, we missed that one. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Alright, we still got the QTE, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of shots in his body. There we go. Throw another grenade. Switch to that. There we go. 2 shots. Another QTE stab. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, good. That was our last Magnum round, but that's good. So, we still had another grenade and more ammo around the room to use, but we didn't need to. Ah, just missed the bridge. So yeah, all that's left to do at this point is grab the special rocket launcher and finish off Saddler, and then do the jet ski portion. So, depending on whether or not we have the striker, is the only difference for the rest of the run. Is whether or not we trigger the jet ski glitch. But yeah, getting at this point at 1 hour and 50 minutes with load time removals, it's pretty good. So far it's been about an hour and 55 minutes or so. So it's a really good pace for the run. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We'll go ahead and wrap it up with this last portion here.
Hang on, sweetheart.
So I hope that after watching this, you see that the no merchant category is still a very interesting take on running Resident Evil 4. It's never been seen at GDQ before. It's definitely been offered a couple times, and hopefully you guys enjoy it, and hope to see you guys at SGDQ. So I'll go ahead and let the rest of the run play out, but thanks again for watching. Looks like we have a final time with loads removed of 151:40:39, which is a PB for me, which is a really, really good PB. So that run went really well. I would expect the estimate for this to be about 2 hours, just because things can go wrong, and there's a few things that we can run into that will cost a fairly healthy chunk of time, but yeah, I gotta save here. But otherwise, it's a fairly safe run. There's just a few strats that may cost a bit of time, but there's no chance that the run will die. I'll just put it that way. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ritz Blues, and hope to see you at SGDQ.